Good evening, Africa. Welcome to Hashtag Quest Sports. It's a Wednesday evening and our very last show for the year. Oh my word, we have a great show lined up as usual for you tonight. But before we get to our special guest, it's a warm welcome to my sister. I haven't seen her in a bit. Kunda!
Love the excitement. Super excited. It has been an amazing 12 months of Hashtag Quest Sports. It's been hashtag amazing, and we're kind of hashtag amazing.
Come on. We are hashtag amazing. You know we love it like that, man. Big up yourself, Kundai.
Absolutely, and know that this is all about you. This is all about the fans. Now remember, you can join the conversation using Hashtag Quest Sports and follow us on all of our social media platforms. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/Quest Sports. We're on Twitter. We're on the gram. Use the hashtag Quest Sports to get in touch with us. And of course, we have that amazing website at www.questespn.com.
Oh yes, Africa. Tonight's guest has a very interesting story. He was and still is an avid gamer, but is now racing on the tracks of real life. Sounds confusing? Let me introduce you to Jonothan Mogotsi. Great to have you with us in studio.
Thank you so much, Arthur. Could I? Thank you so much.
Right, so you speed in the speed lane for life. That's pretty much what you do.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not on the road.
Oh.
On the road, I drive like Miss Daisy.
Okay.
I do my speeding on the track.
Nice. Love it. How did you get involved in motorsports?
Crazy story, man. Basically, I got involved in sim racing, simulator racing, which is gaming.
Yeah.
And essentially, it was my only way of fulfilling my fantasies.
Yeah.
Because, you know, as you know, motorsport is very expensive.
Yes.
So I got involved with sim racing. I ended up being pretty good at it, I guess.
Yeah.
And I had an opportunity to go overseas. They sent me overseas. I competed. I came back, and I joined the Volkswagen Academy and won.
Wow.
Here I am today.
From gamer to racer.
Yeah.
That jump for many kids on our continent is not easy. How did you gather yourself? How were you able to do that? How was your journey going through that?
To be perfectly honest with you, my initial goal was not to transition from gaming into the real thing.
Yeah.
It was more of a pastime for me. And as I said to you, it was a way for me to fulfill my fantasy. So
Yeah.
I was gaming constantly, just about every day. I ended up being good at it, and my goal was to obviously work, make some money, and then eventually get back into motorsport. But, you know, sometimes the planets align, and that opportunity came way sooner than I anticipated.
Unexpected.
You're speaking about working and coming back to, so what was that line of work going to be? What was the family like, this is what our son is going to do?
So currently I'm a business analyst by profession.
Okay.
A bit of a funny story though. So I remember in matric, I was a boarder. I went to boarding school. And my grandmother paid me a visit. So the two of us sat on a bench overlooking the school grounds. And she said to me, "Johnny, boys, you know, what do you want to do after school?" You know. So I gave her the answer I think that she wanted to hear. You know, go into IT or maybe become an engineer, accounting, or whatever. But then I told her what I really wanted to do. I said, I want to become a racing driver.
Wow.
She looked at me, Ari, what are you talking about? Like, what is this? You know, she just didn't understand. And you know, back in those days, the only real goals one could achieve was to become a doctor, to become a teacher. So becoming musicians, artists, or racing drivers wasn't really within their vision. So, yeah, but needless to say, today she's my biggest fan.
Oh, of course.
Oh, that's so amazing. Love that story. Let's get a little bit touchy in the sense with regards to African families and how certain African families are not really welcoming of the sports like, you know, racing and gaming. How can we change the African household or help them to view it in a different way?
I think that the nice thing about social media is its presence, you know. You know, there's a big global shift towards possible careers. So, you know, I think that it's important for us to engage with our families and to say that, listen, you know, this is what's out there and this is what's possible. And I think you've seen now with esports in general. I think now in 2019 it's going to be $1 billion industry. So there's money to be made elsewhere.
Okay, you spoke about social media, so we have to speak about yours. Specifically your Instagram, which is just littered menu with obviously like, you know, your racing and all that stuff. But I did see a picture of you jamming the guitar a little bit. Do you play? Are you a musician? Other hobbies? A possible career segue?
Man. I picked up a guitar in grade 11. Taught myself how to play with a friend of mine, and we played for a few years. So I can dabble a little.
Okay.
But don't ask me to sing.
Okay, because we actually have a guitar here that we're going to bring, and we wanted you to play something.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready for that? No. Why not? Why not?
I may be a little rusty around the edges.
Really? I don't think that rusty though.
You want to see how dusty my guitar is?
Okay, let's get back to what you're really good at. 2017,
Sure.
Rookie of the Year. It's been a year now. What have you learned so far? How has your journey been?
Oh, man, it's been filled with ups and downs. It's been crazy. Just getting up to grips or up to speed with the actual racing itself, because, you know, that transition from gaming to the real thing wasn't necessarily hard. I found that the simulator racing part of it taught me the fundamental basics. You know,
Really?
car control, weight transfer, car setup and things like that. So once I got into the real deal, it was just a matter of getting acquainted with actual G-forces and perception of depth.
Wow.
Yeah.
So adjusting to that has been quite interesting. And then also the actual fierceness of the competition.
Yeah. And the danger element, though, because obviously when you're gaming, you know, nothing can actually happen. You crash. But 100%. Now you're in there, and that danger element, I mean, that must be crazy.
That doesn't worry me so much because, you know, we are in South Africa. So, you know, driving to work, I find it's more dangerous than racing on the track. I'm serious.
Okay.
It's just, I personally, so, you know, the danger element for me wasn't so much of a big deal. And also, they take safety very, very seriously.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're sitting in FIA spec bucket seats, you've got roll cages, you've got fireproof equipment, helmets and everything. So it's quite safe.
Quite safe.
Yeah, quite safe.
Quite.
It is safe. It is safe.
But I don't know if I'm jumping into a car with Jono anytime soon if he says it's quite safe.
You know.
But let's talk about your first official race and how well you actually did on your first ever one.
Oh, that was Killarney. First race, I qualified mid-pack. And yeah, I was quite chuffed with qualifying mid-pack. And I had a very interesting race. My teammate was in front of me. And at the time, Jeffrey Kruger was a championship contender, right? And I think something happened where he spun out and he was basically charging from behind. And I had a very good 2 laps trying to keep this championship rival behind me.
Yeah.
Eventually he got past and my teammate, but that was a very memorable race for me.
Yeah,
First ever.
Gave you a sense of motivation then for more races, you know, kind of gave you a sense of confidence then for where you want to be in the future. I mean, most of the great people in sports have all met their great icons. I'm sure that's probably not one of them, but coming close to that or coming to someone of that caliber surely does good to your career and your confidence,
100%, mentally especially, because I think that just reinforces that you can do this.
Yeah.
You know? These people aren't just fallacies or dreams or whatever, but you can actually be in that space.
Yeah. Wow, you can actually be in that space.
Now let's talk sponsors and how important it is to you, you know, to have all of these people backing you.
Oh, no, it's crucial. I mean, motorsport is extremely expensive. And without the likes of Volkswagen Motorsport, Dunlop, the Volkswagen Driving Academy, and a couple of others, but without them, this wouldn't be a reality for me. So it is absolutely crucial for, you know, obviously sponsors to be on board and to enable guys like myself to race.
Yeah. Wow. Do you think esports is sustainable?
I do. I mean,
and just consider there are purists out there who have their opinion against.
They can have their opinion. It's okay.
Fine, have it.
I mean, look, I think esports started, about 10 years ago, roughly, if I had to guess. And it's been gaining rapid traction ever since. And as I said to you, I think gaming in 2019 is going to be $1 billion industry.
Yes.
So I most definitely think it's a sustainable industry.
All right, well, Time now for some quick fire questions supplied by my producer. I have not seen these questions, so I have no idea what I'm about to ask. Are you ready, Jono? This is like more intense than...
I don't know. Let's see.
You know, getting into the car for a race, huh? More intense.
This is more dangerous.
More intense. Are you ready? All right, here it comes. Question 1. Favorite holiday destination?
Durban, beach.
Why Durban?
I love the beach, the heat, and it's just relaxing.
All right. Best music for a road trip?
Kom.
I honestly was not expecting that.
I like that.
What were you like in school?
I was very quiet, reserved, basically lurked in the shadows.
All right. Best circuit to race at?
I personally have not been on there, but my bucket list item is the Nordschleife. The Nürburgring.
And why? And why?
It's the longest, if I'm not mistaken, it is the longest and most challenging circuit in the world.
All right, that brings me to my next one. Worst circuit to race at?
Oh, that's a bit unfair. I would say least favorite, probably Swartkorps, because that's like our home ground.
Oh.
So we're there every other day, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Least favorite.
Shucks, to all the Swartkorps people out there that are dreaming of being great. Jono just made it. All right, anyway, if you could race against one great in the sport, who would it be?
Oh, man.
I can't wait to hear your answer.
It's going to be different. I would say Keiichi Tsuchiya.
Okay.
He was obviously a racing driver and predominantly a drifter, a Japanese drifter. I just love his driving style, super aggressive, and his car control is out of this world, and very humble and down-to-earth man. So
Like you.
wow.
All right, last one. A day with Lewis Hamilton or a weekend with Justin Bieber? Really?
Wow.
My producer, though.
Guys, can we respect?
Obviously,
Can we do some respect?
it's obvious. Obviously, it's Justin
Lewis
Bieber.
Hamilton.
Is it obvious that it's Justin Bieber?
I would rather wash dishes in the restaurant for a weekend.
Did you just say that? There's so many believers across the world.
That's okay. That's okay.
They're going to unfollow you.
That's okay.
Okay.
All right.
Now, while we catch our breath, let's hear from Kwese Sports' very own Cyrus Rogers and get his thoughts on a magical sporting 2018.
Hi, this is Cyrus Rogers from NBA.com and The Post-Up Show. Well, my sporting moments of the year, there are so many to choose from. The year itself was just filled with some of the best sports. So you had Anthony Joshua in the ring, and who doesn't love to watch heavyweight boxing? And Joshua was the king of the ring. He was just incredible. His fights were just always a must-watch affair. And so seeing him do his work and getting everybody behind him was just fantastic. And obviously, the fact that he wins, one of my favorite things too. But then the FIFA World Cup is the pinnacle of football, and you've got to love the way soccer is. You know, when you see the French national team doing their thing and then playing so well to get through to the final and then winning it, the likes of Kylian Mbappe, you know, just incredible stars being born on the world stage. So I loved seeing that come to pass. And Africa got really behind the French national team. They became like one of our de facto African teams. But for me, as a basketball fan, as an NBA lover, the NBA finals were spectacular. And the Golden State Warriors beating the Cleveland Cavaliers, they swept them in the finals. It was just impressive. It was great to see Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson do their thing and see them do it so well. It was just superb. So those are my moments of the sporting year. But I know there's so many that I've left out. I don't want to feel as if I've forgotten something. But make sure you're watching all of the stuff that you can on Kwese Sports.
2018, what a magnificent year. Look, it was all about Man City in the Premier League, wasn't it? They started off like a house on fire, scoring late goals, and Sterling was brilliant. Well, all of them were brilliant. But the defining moment for me is when Man City went to the champions, Chelsea, at Stamford Bridge, and they absolutely thrashed them 1-0. De Bruyne with a magnificent goal from the edge of the box, arrowed it into the corner. Wonderful goal. From then on, there was only one winner in the Premier League, so it was about who was going to beat them, who was going to bring it to an end their unbeaten run. And well, Liverpool were terrific, weren't they? They were fantastic in terms of the way that they played. They conceded goals, but they scored goals, and it was just, they were a joy to watch. So obviously they knocked Man City out of the Champions League, but the most exhilarating game was the one at Anfield, where they thrashed Man City 4-3. Look, Man City got a couple of late goals that don't really count. And when Salah lobbed the ball over Ederson for the fourth goal, that was just magnificent, and that summed up the Premier League. At the other end of the table, what summed up the Premier League is that someone like Huddersfield, at the end of the season, desperate for points, could go to the Etihad and get a point which would go a long way towards securing their position in the Premier League by defending their 18-yard box. They didn't get out of their 18-yard box, and they got a point. Again, an exhilarating game. If that wasn't enough, after Man City lifted the title and secured 100 points doing it, we had the World Cup. Wow. Was that the best World Cup ever? Of course it was. It was magnificent. And I was concerned about Russia, the host nation, whether they wouldn't be good enough. But by the way, they were magnificent. They set it off with a magnificent win, scoring 5. And then the whole tournament was brilliant. Well, apart from France-Denmark, with 0-0, boring. Apart from that, tournament was fantastic. France and Belgium, by far the best sides. But Croatia were brilliant. And Luka Modric was player of the tournament, deservedly. So it's been a wonderful year, 2018. Let's hope 2019 can come somewhere close.
Oh, Leroy, can't wait for 2019 indeed, especially after a great year of football in 2018. Unfortunately, Chelsea didn't win the Premier League title, so well done to Manchester City. Always great to get the thoughts of former pro athletes, and Leroy Rossino is one of Kwese Sport's very own. We look forward to his contributions in 2019. Now, staying with motorsports, the FIA Formula E Championship is gaining massive momentum and popularity. Let's take a quick look at this exciting form of motorsport. And remember, all races are live on Kwese Sports.
They are cars of the future.
I think Formula E is going through a very exciting time.
This defines the future of motor racing.
Very excited to be here. It's been a long time waiting.
We expect a lot of fight.
Yeah, don't know what happened. Got a problem with the brakes.
Let's work! Yes!
Huge potential for the future.
They're ready to go and attack in a race.
I'm looking forward just to be more and more in the car. So this generation 2 for sure will create a lot of excitement.
We the future, the movers and new leaders. Never lose and we rule undefeated. I don't gotta beg you to believe this.
I'm really happy to discover new cities, new tracks. I think it's good for the championship. It's good for everyone.
It's going to be a super exciting season. We have so many new things coming for Season 5. You know, it's a season where we have a new car with new technology, a lot faster. We have attack mode. We have this design of the cars that look like the cars of the future, the Batmobile.
I think Formula E is going through very exciting times. We've been testing a lot through the off season, and everyone's getting a bit more excited, and I think we're going to have a good season.
We have new cities, we have new teams, we have new manufacturers, lots of new things in Formula E. Formula E is moving so fast, it's paving the way to the future of motorsport. So in Season 5 is going to be a next step on that.
Here comes Rosenquist. He's lost it. Rosenquist spins and turn 1. Oh, and that was the temptation. That's what he needs to do. These guys are leaving nothing on the table. And looking at the inside of Lopez, not quite able to get through. Someone's going to get squeezed into the wall there. Surely no, not quite. There's a move from Byrne coming into the stadium section. What a lovely move that is by the Frenchman, and I'm afraid DaCosta's going to get swamped there.
One small mistake from any of these guys and the other three are going to get involved in it. You've got to really trust them because all these corners are blind.
And that is dramatic. Drive-through penalties for Mitch Evans, Jose Maria Lopez, Andre Lotterer and Sebastian Buemi. This is nose to tail for the lead. So now that means it's just 2 points between them in the team's championship. Jonathan Byrne is doing everything he can to win the title. What a race, what a line.
Africa, doesn't that just look so exciting? I tell you what, Formula One might just be getting a run for their money after just getting that excitement from Formula E. Wow, guys, just the unique manner in which the cars are built, the tracks, and how they turn the corners. Jono, this is your kind of stuff.
No, absolutely. And also, I think more especially is that the racing itself is very close and competitive.
Yeah.
And that's what the fans want, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And couple that with the fact that we've got former Formula One drivers and plenty of other amazing drivers from different disciplines into one, it creates for an exciting formula, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Now, I find it so engaging. Now, these races are 45 minutes long.
Yeah.
Do you think that's enough to engage, you know, because other races in motorsport are usually much longer?
Yeah, I think it is. Personally speaking, I'm a big fan of short sprint races. Because then we could have multiple races.
Yes.
That always, I think, varies the chances and positions. So personally, I'm a big fan of short races. So yeah, 45 minutes, I think is fine.
All right, happy with that. Set up in 2014, Formula E is the world's first fully electric racing series. The cars are fully battery powered, but can do 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in less than 3 seconds and are capable of exceeding 300 kilometers per hour. Guys, the question on many motorsports fans' minds, is this the future of motorsports?
Yes, it is. We can deny and dislike, you know, an all-electric series, but the fact is, this is the world is moving towards electric, and it only makes sense for more and more manufacturers to get involved because, you know, motorsport is also considered a rapid R&D. Because the technology from motorsport gets trickled down into the cars that you and I drive every day.
Yeah.
So it only makes sense.
Yeah. Looking again at Formula E, what would you say is unique about it or distinct about it that you can't get in Formula One? What makes it so different to Formula One? Where's that rush, you know, of adrenaline sports that comes in through Formula E?
I think first and foremost, those things look like Batmobiles.
They do, right? Yeah.
It looks like they look like Batmobiles, and the races are situated within cities.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the two complement each other.
Yeah.
And I just think it's such an exciting formula.
It is. I think just the coolest thing about it, which I think that it will be going to the future, is because of the fan interaction.
Yeah.
Now, I know that they've got a thing, you know, I'm not going to get all technical, but the fan boost, okay? So basically, you know, fans get to vote, and whoever gets the most votes get a little bit of an extra boost in the race, which is super cool.
Absolutely.
And I think that brings in the fact that our generation, well, the younger generation, likes to interact so much. So now you can imagine how social media plays, you know, an impact, and everyone wants that, likes and followers and Twitter. It just marries together.
100%.
And I think the fact that the fans can interact like that, you know, you don't get that in Formula One. And also the fact that you can get to actually race in an actual race with the Formula E drivers. That's basically like you, a gamer who's racing in real life, but, you know, if someone didn't have that opportunity.
And it's all about engaging with the fan base and the supporters. And I think that's what's been missing in motorsport up until now.
Yeah.
You know, any Joe Soap sitting at home on the couch can actually interact with the live races going on.
All right. I've got to do this, Jono. Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Wow. PlayStation, and why? Better games?
I guess it was my first love, but the exclusive titles I think PlayStation has had over the years have been mind-blowing.
Wow.
Surpasses Xbox.
Yeah. By far.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you
Fight me. Come at me.
Wow. Very brave for you to say that on national TV. Back to our Formula E story. Plenty of former as well as current Formula One drivers are involved. Their presence in their sport, what does that do to the sport?
Well, I think it brings fan base, a much bigger fan base. And the nice thing about it is that Formula E brings many different types of supporters to a single make series. And also, as we were talking about earlier, on the topic of engagement, we can now engage with the racing itself, and you get. It's just, I think it's, I don't know, the formula itself is...
Do you think we'll see a lot of, you know, other disciplines of motorsport sort of segueing into Formula E, some other races coming in, seeing that it's something that's growing so much?
I think we have to. I think we have to. You know, there's a big global shift towards, you know, technology and electric, so I think we might just see a few other series adopting. I think karting has also started this as well.
Yes.
There's now an all-electric karting series.
Yeah.
So
Got a bit of a cool factor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But John, even before we go on with this conversation, I think we've got to bring it back home to the continent. Can Formula E work in Africa?
Yes, most definitely. You look at, third world countries especially, we are developing, at a rapid rate.
Just remember, we've got load shedding that we face almost every single
You're only able to charge your car.
You said, can it be done in Africa? I wasn't specific.
Okay, about the country.
No, I'm sure. No, man, it can definitely work here. It definitely. Wouldn't you guys love to have a race in, say, Santon?
Yeah.
Hey?
Definitely would love to.
Down Santon Drive, but without traffic this time. I think it'd be brilliant.
No traffic on Santon Drive will be really nice.
Could
I'd
you
love to see that.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. Now, what can we expect from Jono in 2019?
You can expect some big things. We're working on a couple of things for 2019, working on to 2020.
Nice.
Nothing has been, I haven't made an official announcement yet, but all I can say is...
Yes, make it here.
All I can say is watch the space because we've got some very exciting things ahead in 2019.
Awesome. And where can they find you on social media?
You can catch me on Facebook, Jonothan Mogotsi Racing. It's the same. I got the same handle on Instagram and Twitter. Although I'm not very active on Twitter.
Why not?
I should be.
Oh my goodness, I'm already hearing the bed music. Kundai's already asked Jonathan for the social media handles. It's the last few seconds, guys, of the show. Am I saying goodbye, Kundai? No.
Gotta say goodbye for this year, but we'll be bigger and better in 2019. Hashtag is gonna be dope. Thank you so much for joining us this year and have an awesome, awesome, awesome rest of your festive. We'll see you soon.
Love you. That's it. No.